Yeah.
Yeah.
And whenever you're ready, right? We won't say do it right away, but whenever you're ready, we can see each other.
No, honestly speaking, we're so excited to see our fellows. Sometimes I'm feeling that I'm talking to walls.
Hi. Yeah.
So finally the motivation is working. Motivation is working.
Yeah.
Yeah, great, great. So let's see who. Yeah, Gerard, Goodness, Gracie, Susie. Can we be blessed to see your faces at least once in these 4 days?
Sorry, I'm a bit camera shy.
Okay, you are a camera shy person.
You haven't seen me, or
Sorry, I'm just kidding. My
Yeah,
network
hey,
is
Gerard.
stable.
I think
My
I
network
can
is quite
go.
unstable.
I can now remove my camera for that, for the sake of data, as in internet.
Gerard, you are looking great.
Thank you, like they say in Uganda. Thank you very much.
Yeah, here we go. Here we go with Susie.
Hi.
Thank you.
Oh
Hi.
wow, great, Susie. Finally, you are alive. Good to see you alive.
Yeah, and I really, Gerard, I really love the background in your picture. So it looks so green and so beautiful.
Born farmer.
Uh,
Yeah, I was born farming, so
yeah.
that is my auntie's place.
Awesome, great. We have Najib here as well. Najib, can you hear us? Najib is Najib is working in our office as an assistant manager. He look after all the operation in our office. Najib, if you can hear me, say hi. Yeah, Najib, you are not audible clearly. Yeah, he is facing technical issue. All right, so we will be joint fellows, but I just want to ask this question, that what are your thoughts? Because in my trainings, I'm very much interested. How do you feel about things, and how do you feel psychologically, emotionally, mentally, about what have been discussed, and how do you feel how this can help you? We had a pretty interesting conversation last day, and of course in the previous days as well. So I want to hear about, what did you think of it? Like last day, last evening, you went there. Did you give any thought what you learned, how much sense it makes, how it can help you grow personally and professionally? So I am really interested to know your thoughts, your feelings, your emotion about what you are studying and how this can help you. And I really want, since we have time, and we have 20 minutes before speaker join us, so I want each one of you to share, how do you see these 3 days? Yeah, I'll call the name, so that would be easy for me. Susie, you can go first.
Okay.
Mhm,
Thank you so much for the
mhm,
training. On my end, it's been realistic. You see, like I mentioned yesterday, as co-founders, as leaders, we are mandated to like manage a group of people in terms of human resource. This leadership training has helped me realize the importance of creating very awesome environments for the people that you're working with, the people who are working with you.
mhm,
And then it has also helped me to realize that the different okay, like through yesterday's activity, we identified our issues, and it has really helped me through the feedback and the solutions that we came up with. It has really helped me to now continue. You know, sometimes when you're doing social entrepreneurship, it's not easy. It really takes a lot of courage. So through this leadership training, I've been able to the challenges that I'm facing through my venture, it has helped me to like get solutions, but also to overcome them, to like overcome my fears as a leader. And also it has equipped me with the different leadership skills right from Monday up to Tuesday up to today. I've been able to, like, I think I'm going to be a better leader and a better person. Thank
Yeah,
you.
absolutely. Absolutely, you will be. And remember, you know, if you believe in growth, you need to believe in learning as well. And learning should never stop, right? So very happy to hear that. Gerard, go ahead.
Well, yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, I can say I'm not the same as the person that started this training. I have learned a lot in issues concerning emotional intelligence, how thoughts, how behaviors and emotions are connected. I have also learned about new, like very interesting concept about structured thoughts and unstructured or random thoughts. In most cases, I used to, like, maybe if I'm doing something, I tend to be distracted by something small and I forgo the big thing, then I go for the small ones that I didn't even plan. Yeah. So I think I have got a lot, and then for personal awareness, how that is it Johari? I don't know how I wrote it, but I wrote
Yeah,
Johari.
Johari window.
Yeah, Johari window. How I discover myself and how other people are going to help or to play a big part in me. At the beginning, I was like, maybe I'm the only person who can know what is wrong. I'm the only person who can say to myself that this is your personality, but people outside there are observing, and asking for feedback is very essential. And yeah, it can be negative, it can be positive, but I'm very sure that if someone is very honest, he will tell you the truth, and it will be constructive to yourself, though it may come in a negative way. So at the beginning, I was like, yeah, probably this Gerard is the only one to determine his fate again. But it's different. Now I have a different version of how I look at things. So thank you very much for this training, and I hope to keep learning. It's a process. It's not something of one time. I look forward to keep improving and attending more trainings like this. Thank you very much.
Yeah, of course, very happy to hear that and very inspired that you have felt the change. And I think this is how you can, you know, get a success when you feel you got change. Tracking yourself is very important, and this is what we will be discussing today, right? So thank you very much once again. Etornum, go ahead, you can speak.
Okay, so I'm going to keep my video on while speaking.
Yeah.
For the last day, yeah. Yeah. So yeah, I didn't have any much of expectations before the whole thing started, but after the first day, every morning by 10:30, I'm seated by my desk waiting for the training. Yes, that was what happened, and I so much appreciate the passion with which, all the presenters spoke to us. Aziz, Danish, and then Hassan, you touched on very important topics that are usually not seen as that important in the professional world. Yes, and I want to say it again. I said it yesterday that Hassan's presentation on soft skills, goal setting and all of that, he did it twice. He went through the presentation twice, and with how he spoke and how he explained everything, it so much touched me. And I feel like if I had not gone through this training, I don't know, I've achieved so much from this training. And then the first presentation we had on the first day, which was about our thoughts. In fact, I've been inculcating that so much this past few days. Sometimes I'll be thinking about something, and I'll be like, okay, so is this relevant to my goals? If it's not, then I have to change it. And yeah, it's just a few days, but it's been so helpful to me, and I'm going to continue it. And I've taken so much notes, the networking, Johari window, the soft skills, emotional intelligence. I just made comprehensive notes, and I'm going to do my best to, employ or inculcate all of this into my personal and into my professional life going forward. So I so much appreciate this training, and thank you so much for everything. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a great pleasure hearing this, and this makes us more happy. Because this is what we had in our thoughts, to bring a change, to bring an impact, and make transformation happen to our fellows. So if it is happening, that means you will grow, and you will learn more, and you will transform. So I know it takes time, but whatever you have gained so far, I think the foundation has become stronger. And now the more you grow and practice on these things, the better you will become. So thank you very much for sharing your thoughts and for
Yeah.
the feedback.
I just want to, you see the work Hassan gave to us, the Google form we're supposed to fill. I don't know if you remember, we were doing it, but then it was so much, so we couldn't finish it in that session. I don't know, is it possible if it could be put in a document, maybe a PDF document, and shared with us? I feel like I would want to go through it again, just to take more time and re-answer the questions. I've submitted mine though, but I don't know if it's possible to get it for us once again. Yeah.
So Hassan is joining us today as well for the change management. We could ask him. So I can ask him to give 15 to 20 minutes, discuss it, and then we can go to the other session. So let Hassan join us, and then we can talk to him.
Okay, sure. Thank you.
All right, of course. Okay, Gracie, yeah, go ahead if you want to share your thoughts. Gracie, if you can hear.
Yes, I can hear you. Hello, everyone.
Hi.
Just like Etonam said, unlike her, okay, she said that she didn't have expectations at the beginning, but personally, I was so expectant in only the leadership talks because it was basically leadership. But to my surprise, it went beyond leadership talks, We went into professional personality growth, emotional intelligence, time management. I remember the tool that was shared, it was too personal for you yourself to determine or to evaluate your own self. How do you manage your team? How do you manage your time? Things like that. So to me, I've really learned a lot and benefited from this training. And I look forward to more, It has been a 4-day event, but I feel like it has been maybe for 3 months, and it has been so beneficial. So I'm really grateful. That's what I can say.
Of course, happy to know that, and thank you for the feedback. Goodness, anything you want to add, share?
Yeah, sure. Okay. So during this leadership development lab, it's been quite interesting and educative at the same time.
When we started the bootcamp, I was like, okay, it might just be speakers just talking and talking, and we listen and then write. I didn't expect to have these conversations, especially yesterday's yesterday's session was really meant a lot to me. Like, we get to talk. Everybody brought out their problems, and then we ourselves brought out solutions.
Mm-hmm.
So tackling things like that really helped put things like it will help you put things into perspective. You can have a problem and just talk it out and bring out the solution. So this
Mm-hmm.
entire 3 days has been really exciting.
Mm-hmm.
From the first day, the personality development, that was really a good start. I got to like really um assess myself, assess my personality, and then bring it forward into my leadership role. And it has helped me like put some things into perspective, know where I am defaulting and where I should work on as a better leader. And I look forward to today's session and more of what will come in the future.
Yeah, absolutely, and happy to hear that. Um, and more to come, right? The next webinar we will have, we are again just piloting things, right? And we are very happy to see the outcome of it. So next year we will come up with with more programs that can help you build your leadership, build your enterprise further. So thank you very much for sharing your feedback. This means a lot. And then we have Batul. Batul, anything you want to share? How the 3 days went?
Yes, hello again. So as I said from the beginning, I joined because I joined in June and I got so much out of
Uh-huh.
it. And it seems I'm going to join again in the next
Mm-hmm.
times. Really, it was really very informative. The best part of it, I think we had less trainings than last time, less material, but I think it was much more interactive, concentrated. And like
Mm-hmm.
really, it's the first time I meet with the resolution fellows this close, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
so happy to meet everyone and they know themselves already here.
Mm-hmm.
And just like really, I think everything was interesting, but the most interesting part to me was the Johari Principle. It's really
Mm-hmm.
like it's good to put things into perspectives after we've just gotten these information randomly, but now
Mm-hmm.
everything seems structured and beneficial. Thank you very
Yeah.
much.
No, of course.
Yeah, I
Go
wanted to
ahead.
add
Go
also
ahead.
like thank you for the professional development part as well, because like this is something we need, and eventually even if we are like networking on the personal level, this will eventually impact our venture and on in the
Of course.
future. So this
Of
indirect
course.
stuff that we may bypass, but you opened our eye to. Thank you very much.
Of course. And Batul, that's very correct. The reason is you are who is enterprise? You are the enterprise, right? So it's your idea, it's your working. So the more you invest in yourself, the more benefit if you get, so that would ultimately impact your venture, your enterprise as well. So thank you so very much for sharing that. Danish, you want to say something?
Yeah, I just I wanted to share one thing with all the fellows that yesterday I wrote an article for all my fellows that is about a business transformation, digital transformation for today's business scenario. So it would be very productive for all the participants because we want to share many more things, Aziz, but due to
Mm-hmm.
lack of timing, short timing, so we are unable to share any of the content. So that's why I decided to write an article, uh, especially for all the participants, so they can uh, go through the article and they can understand uh, what kind of digital
Mm-hmm.
transformation in the world of business is taking place and how would be the future of work and future of job would be look like. So according to that, all the co-founders, all the CEOs, all the business venture leaders who are presented in this training can take benefit of it. And at the same time, as from day one, I am emphasizing, and in fact, we all are emphasizing on building a professional network and professional community. That's why we had created that greater pathway workplace sheet, just to make sure that we all are connected even after this training, and we can benefit from each other's expertise after this training. And we can have a lot of such discussion in future as well. But see, the power of social media connection is how we can see, like for example, I just shared an article, and then if you are following me on my LinkedIn profile, so you would be uh, reaching to all such contents for free of cost. And same is the case with Aziz. Aziz on frequent basis do writes such kind of personal professional articles for entrepreneurs, for enterprises, and CEOs and co-founders and such people. So that's why it's very important to follow Aziz, to follow Hassan, to follow Heather, to follow me, and definitely would follow you back. So by that we would be in contact with each other, because thanks to technology and the social revolution we discussed yesterday, the world has become now a global village. So we are just a few buttons away from each other, just a text on WhatsApp, Skype, on any social media platform. We can get connected. So this would be one of the biggest success. Personally, Aziz, I see this, that if we are able to create a community out of these sessions, like we are into the second boot camp, we would be having the last one after this, but our success would be, and I feel that the outcome of this project, this program, this initiative, and great initiative by the resolution project US, so that hats off to them, to bring all the experts from different region, different languages, and letting them speak to all the um, resolution fellows. So that's what I believe, that we should keep following each other, keep catching each other on social media, and we should keep learning from each other, and we should keep posted each other. So for example, we can learn from each other, videos, articles, blogs. So I would request again to all the participants, when they get time, link is in the chat box, they can click, and after the training they can read and get benefit from it. Thank you, Aziz.
Yeah, of course. And I think we have, I'm not sure if we have only one Ethereum or we had two. Is it one? Because before I saw two names. All right, so okay, awesome, great. So speaker is joining in a minute or two. I just had a chat with him. Hassan will be joining. So just to brief you what will happen today. Today, I would say, is extremely important day. Number one, we will learn about change management. Uh, why this is important? There are multiple perspectives, both internally within the organization or venture, and then externally as well. So we need to bring changes within the organization, keeping external impact factors and internal impact factors. Why? The reason to keep changing things is to adjust yourself in the market, in the region, in the community where you survive, where you grow, where you thrive. So these are very important. Change management is very important that we will be focusing on, and we will give you detailed overview how you can become, you can bring change management, how you can practice change management in your enterprise. And then in the later session, then I will be giving you a tool which is individual development plan. So I mostly use this in coaching sessions with my clients. It's a one-on-one tool, but we have a little bit modified it. So we will be giving you a very, very powerful tool, a tool that can transform you further. That would be kind of a way methodology. It could be, I would say, a structure that would tell you step-by-step process how you can bring change. And along with that, we will do some assessment, pre individual development plan assessment, to understand yourself better. Again, why we are doing this, we are more emphasized on your understanding, helping you understand yourself well, because great leaders are those who understand himself or herself well, who is more aware of himself or herself, who knows about his or her strength, weaknesses, opportunities out there, and who is more futuristic. So that is why we are giving you all those tools that you can practice later on, and this can bring a lot transformation, and this has brought a lot transformation to us, and this can bring a lot transformation to you as well. So excited to learn today from you as well and share with all of you. We have been joined by Hassan. Thank you so very much for joining today. So can you hear me?
Yes, Aziz, I can hear you.
All right, awesome. So one thing before you joined us, so the fellows has a question. Some of the fellows have not completed that leadership form, so the soft skills form. So if we can get a link to that as well. And if you, I know some of them have submitted the form. So can we take 5 to 10 minutes and just see one, submission, that how did it work, what happened, what answer they have submitted. So, and then we can jump to the change management topic. So it's all yours, Hassan. You can go ahead with it.
Aziz, surely I would be sharing that form again, but I still have received just 8 answers, 8
Okay.
forms, 8 submissions, and it's not about like that. I would be sharing the glimpse of that. I would be sharing
Okay.
individual report for each individual once
Awesome.
I get all the answers. So
Awesome.
that would
Great.
be complete input about these things. So they would be able to assess and reevaluate themselves. Either they are improving or not. So I would be sharing those by Monday, but
Right.
once I have to share that form again, and let me see, is that working or not? If it's not working, I'll refresh it and we'll share it within the session.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you can share the link with me now, so we can reach out to the fellows to fill it, and then I can let you know that, if those who have
Yes,
submitted by
yes.
Monday, we can share result with them. Otherwise, those who have not, so we can skip them.
Yes, let me share it once
Yeah,
again, and
sure.
here is the form, and it's for you guys. It's here.
Awesome, great. And
Just
you
check
can,
it. Is it?
yeah,
Yes, it's working.
yeah, it's working. It is working. So I would say you can bookmark this just to be sure that you have it with you.
So
All right. Yeah, Hassan, over to you. It's all yours.
thank you guys. I welcome you again. So here I am. Hopefully you guys would be learning from Aziz and from other guys like Heather. And because I work with these guys and they're really good in this. And a day before yesterday, I was sitting with a startup who secured like $6.2 million. And the input was very much interesting. Let me share that first. And that was my DM. If you search it, you'll come to know. I was sitting with Zan and we were having a session, very good session. He was telling that during his journey to raise this much fund and making a startup a success, He never missed any such kind of trainings, any incubation, any camp. He never missed it. And he was attending these programs, and he secured 6.2 in round A, and the people are waiting for him to start another round, and they're ready to give him funds. So this is the power of learning what we get from these sessions. So I would recommend you try to learn from these sessions and try to absorb it. Ask questions wherever you are not clear about these things. Either it's Aziz, either it's Heather, either it's me. And another thing, if you don't get anything at that time, and after that you want to improve or implement something, then you can reach us at like on the LinkedIn, Facebook, any place. You can reach us. We'll be writing you back whenever the earliest time possible. So the program and the topic that we would be covering today is change management. So it's a new concept for you guys. It might be a new concept, but it's not new actually. It's a very, very old thing. So let's start discussing it. We'll be discussing these slides. We'll be taking examples of real life. So if there is any question at any point, do ask me that question. Okay. So let's start. It's about my introduction, which I have already given you. So these are the contents which we would be covering today. What is change management? Why change management fails, change management models, and keystone of change management. So these would be the main topics. So keep one thing in mind. There is only one thing permanent in this world, and that is change. Nothing is permanent. Just change is permanent because things keeps on changing. And that's why the only thing in this world, the only permanent thing is this word is change. So it's about our corporate lives. So what change management is, actually it's the definition basically. So we can have an idea about what change management is all about. Change management encompasses all activities aimed at helping an organization successfully accept and adopt new technologies and new ways. So we can say taking a new challenge, accepting new challenges is always a change for us. And if we hug it with passion and accept it, then we are managing change. Then effective change management enables the transformation of strategy, possesses technology and people to enhance performance and ensure continuous improvement in an ever-changing environment. Like a smaller example, we are working on papers. If we start using Microsoft Word or some other tools, text tools, then we have changed our way. And if we continuously moved on those things, we have managed that change. If you're keeping accounts, records on the papers, then we moved to Excel, then we have managed change. We learned that Excel and Microsoft Excel and other such data management tools, and we start implementing like pivots and charts and macros, then we have managed that change, we have learned that change, and we are implementing it. So it's a very easy subject, very easy thing, but we just need to understand what change is and how to accept it. Let me tell you another thing before going on to the next slide. we in our lives are usually very comfortable with our routines. So when something new comes in, we don't accept that. Like we are using Androids and Apple phones. So there are two operating systems which we are using. One is Android and other is of Apple, that is Mac. If it comes a new operating system for our hand devices, mobiles, we would not be very easy and we're very comfortable adopting that new change. Similarly, in our lifestyle, if it comes a new thing, a new way, we straightforwardly reject that thing and don't try to understand that this thing can make improvements in our lives. So first thing for change is to accept that any new thing which is coming to us can be for our betterment. A few time ago, we used to write letters. Then it came the time when we started writing emails. Then it came the time when we started sending texts. And in letters, we had to wait for weeks to reach and then wait for the replies. Then with emails, we had to wait till the time the other one reads it and replies it and writes us back. Then it came the text. Once we send it, we had to wait for the reply, but usually the people responded within time. After that, we got email, internet clients like WhatsApp and other like things, such chat clients. We just come to know that other person, that receiver, read that message, he is writing that reply. So this is a change. We accepted changes during all these periods. There was a time we used to watch televisions with big screens, with heavy duty televisions, glass screens. Then it moved to flat screens. Then it moved to curvy screens. Then it moved to LED, LCD televisions. Then it moved to LED televisions now, and it's coming holographic televisions, holograms. So these are the changes which we are continuously accepting and regularly changing our lives according to that. And we have to accept that these things can make changes in our corporate ways, corporate lifestyle. So technologies, new ways, new changes can make our corporate life, our work life better and easier. So we have to accept change. We have to accept that any new intervention in the world, if adopted, can improve our working efforts. It can make things easier for us. It can make life easier for us. So we need to emphasize on those things. So now we would be reading a bit about literature. So who are the people who are usually managing change in our organizations? So these are the persons who are usually responsible for managing change in organizations. The first people are the persons who are practitioners of change. These are usually consultants, the people telling it. Who are the other persons? Sponsors. And in our scenario, in startup scenario, who are the sponsors? These are the investors with us, like what we say VCs, like jam boards, VCs, private investors. They are the sponsors. They are the sponsors for us. They want to make changes in our organizations. And these are the persons for those who are, we are addressing this topic and in this program, they are the persons. Then who are the persons? And in organizations who are the next persons who can manage change and who are managing changes? These are people managers. In some organizations, these are HR managers. In some organizations, these are operations managers. In some organizations, these are CEOs. Then what next persons? Project managers. Who these people are? Who are managing a complete project. These are departmental heads. These are the area heads, section heads, heading a project, different project, or that change management project managers. And then it comes people, our regular staff, our team members. These are the people. They all are responsible to make change. So it means if we see this, we'll come to know each and every person in an organization or outside the organization, which has any link to that organization, is responsible for change management. It tells us each and every person in an organization is responsible for change management in that organization. So if there is any misunderstanding or I'm not clear yet about anything, do let me know. I'll tell you guys, then I'll move forward, because things are a bit literary after these slides. So hoping everything is clear. Now I'm moving forward. These are the principles. This is a very easy thing. We just need to read it. We don't need to write these things. We just need to remember these things. If we read these things carefully and understand it. For changing management, we need to keep these principles in mind, like we need to know our culture and adapt to support changes. If we are going to make any changes in our startup, this is a very, very necessary thing. First thing, I'll discuss it. After discussing all the 7 points, I'll discussing 1 point each, one after another. Then actively, intentionally lead. Okay, like if the change is not actively led or intentionally led, then it would not be easier or possible. Create your vision for change. So we have to think about what would be the results and what would we get after making these changes. Then choose your change team wisely. Like who would be the persons who would be helping us or would be joining hands with us in managing that team. Then communicate carefully and strategically. This is very important. Communication is the key for all these change management things. So we need to communicate very carefully and strategically. Then we need to stay aligned with our products and visions, or our product vision, which we thought to be implemented after a change management plan. And then prepare for the unexpected. So anything unexpected can be happen in result what we are trying to do, that we need to be ready for that. So the first thing what I was telling you, know your culture and adapt to support change. As I told you in the last slide, the most important people for us are sponsors. So in most of the cases, these sponsors are the persons, they are telling us, make these changes in your startup, then I'll be investing it. Or for this, you need to do this, this, this. So before accepting to adopt any change or agree to make any changes in our organization, in our startup, we not only to agree with them, we have to see what our culture says. If something is contradictory to our culture, that cannot be acceptable for our team members, that would not be possible for us. Like if I can give you an example of Pakistan. We have seen that an organization that at very large scale, I'll not name the organization, that was a very large scale startup here. They were going very good. They were getting funds and funds and funds, and they were at the verge of becoming what we say that $1 billion company. They were at the verge of that. Then it came round C. The investors asked them, "We'll invest in your organization, but you would have to make these changes in your startup. You would have to start this business too in your culture." But they missed that change was not meant to be implemented in our country. That was not suitable for our culture. And in result, they were washed out from Pakistan. They had to move out from here within 7 to 8 months. So they agreed to a change which was not supported by our culture, that was not meant for our country, for our area, that was agreed by the startup team, but that was not possible to be implemented in this culture. So I would suggest you, recommend you, once any investor, any sponsor says you, for this fund, for this grant, for this round, you need to make changes, you only would have to accept with those changes which are supported by your culture, so people can adopt that. So that is the first principle. Then we'll think about, yes, we need to make this change or not. So this would be the best thing. Then we have to see, can that change be actively, intentionally led or not? So let's say you are the guys, you are the founders of the startups, and you agree to a change in your organizations, like someone is saying, one of your investors is saying, for this project, you would have to start your work at 7 a.m. or like at 5 a.m. and you need to close at 3 p.m. So I see that he is right, and I would have to work for this. We have to work in the fields for that. So we do agree with that. Then the person who is leading that change, like founder, if you are starting your work and as per that change management plan, you have to start your work at 5 a.m. Then the person who is change manager, who is the founder, need to be there at 4:45. It needs to be synergized. So a change manager needs to be there to manage that change. And so the person who would manage that change should lead that change very actively. Then create your vision for change. So there is a vision given by that sponsor to you, but you would have to change your vision. You would have to set your vision. So after making these changes, where your organization would reach. Okay. So you would have to see, if you make these changes, where you want to see yourself in 6 months and any year, whatever the plan you have desired, you have decided, like you have planned exit after 3 years, then you would have to create your vision. And what it comes after it, you would have to, okay, welcome, Christine. So what is the next thing? Choose your change team wisely. Once we agree to make any change in our organization, we need to select who would be our partner to implement that change. A day before yesterday, somebody was telling me we're just a 2-person team. So there can be a change, and that change should be addressed and managed properly. Like you have to decide, you both have to decide in that scenario how to manage that change, because that change would be requiring change management or inputs from your external stakeholders. Like if you're working with farmers, if you are working with your employees, if you are working with your customers, if you're working with shopkeepers, if you're working with your suppliers or any other person in the market. So you and your partner are the change managers, change management team. You are the people. Then communicate carefully and strategically. Do remember one thing. If you say straightforwardly to someone that we from tomorrow will do things this way, people will not accept that, because most of the people don't like change. So we need to choose our words very carefully and strategically. Like we would try to do things in this way. This would better to say to any external stakeholder, employees, or other partners, or other stakeholders. This would better to say. So we have to choose our words very carefully and very strategically, so they could get the crux, what we are trying to do, and they don't resist to that change what we are looking for. Then stay aligned with your product vision. So this is very, very important. Once you create your vision, do remember that that vision should be aligned with your actual vision. That must support your actual vision. So you need to, while start setting up your change vision, your actual vision must be kept in mind, and that should be aligned with that change vision. Actual vision must be aligned with change vision. And at the last principle, we need always be ready that after making such changes, some unexpected result we can get from the people, from the behavior of the people. So to get the worst, to avoid the worst scenario at point 7, we need to carefully implement point 5. Like a communication can avoid unexpected scenario. So these are basic principles to implement or manage any change. Hope you all guys understood till this slide. If there is any question, do let me know. Otherwise, I'll move forward to some concepts, some further concepts. So basically, guys, keep this thing in mind. Change is a thing which we should keep in mind. This should not be the thing on which we should waste our time in meetings. This must be the things we should keep in mind. Like if our investor says this, we have to do this, we must be ready about it. If we know about the concept of the change, we will be ready to absorb that requirement from our investor. So this is the total purpose of this training or this program. So we are making you ready to face any such requirements from our investors, from our VCs, from our Jumbo board partners, from our private investors. So these are the people. So now I'm hoping that you guys are clear till this slide, and now I'm moving forward. Okay. Forbes says 62% of employees don't like leaving their comfort zone. So it tells that adopting to any change is going out of your comfort. It's different for different cultures. Like we say, in England, the comfort zone, the easiest distance for two persons to talk in between is at least 5 feet or maximum 8 feet. They're comfortable on talking at this distance. In America, it's like 3 feet. And in our culture and in African culture, it's less than 2 feet. So if we challenge our comfort zone, like if we start talking to people after 2 feet, we will not be comfortable to talking to a person. We will think that everybody would be listening to that. So let's say the easiest exercise which we can do, if we are talking to another person and we have to talk politely, we start just practicing it. We sit at a distance and discuss the things with each other without getting annoyed on it, without getting disturbed on it. So in this way, we would be easy, we would be learning to leave our comfort zone. This was the easiest example which I could give you, but there are too many things like getting up early is getting out of the comfort zone, and it is a change. And most of the people have to manage this change for their success. They have to manage their time, leaving out of the comfort zone to leave their Facebook activities like their TikTok activities. So leaving the comfort zone is not very easier for people, and employees, teammates don't like leaving their comfort zone. And 62% of the people in this world don't like this change. Okay, so now I'm moving forward. Change management model, which we would be discussing here, are I would be discussing only one and widely acceptable model with you guys that would be easier for you to understand, because there are too many models in this world, in the corporate world actually. So we would be discussing the easiest model, which is practical, which produced results in this world. So as companies are constantly changing their policies, procedures, and business processes, it is crucial to properly manage and communicate them in the entire workplace. So here is the most practical model for the change management plan. That is I'm going to discuss with you. So this slide is telling us one thing: making SOPs in an organization and changing the SOPs, standard operating procedures and policies, or some way to do work, to do business, is a part of change management plan. So this is ADKAR model. So this is one of the most important models for guaranteeing a smooth transition. So if we have to make changes in our startup, so these would be the principles which we need to read, which we need to follow. So if we know about these things, we would be able to manage change. So this is ADKAR model. where A stands for awareness, D stands for desire, K stands for knowledge, A stands for ability, and R stands for reinforcement. So ADKAR model: awareness, desire, knowledge, ability, reinforcement. Now we are discussing this ADKAR model. And for you guys, this is the easiest way to remember things if we make a word from it. Just like if we try to remember awareness, desire, knowledge, ability, reinforcement, we will not be able. If we do remember ADKAR, we will easily be able to remember this concept. So this is the easiest way to learn anything. We can make any model of our own on it, and this is a global model for this, ADKAR model. So awareness, making employees or partners or teammates aware of the need of the change and its benefits. So we need to make our employees, our partners, our teammates aware for the need of the change, why this need is important, and what benefits would we get from making this change. Okay, then it comes desire. And what it is, encouraging the desire in employees to participate in the change. So it means desire can be encouraged, and how it can be encouraged, it is with a good communication, by selecting right words. If we have to make other person, our team member, our like our stakeholders, external stakeholders, internal stakeholders, we have to make them ready for that change in our organization, in our routines. We have to encourage the desire. We need to make them ready. We need to encourage them. Yes, we can do this. So desire is the second thing, second one in this model. Then it comes knowledge. What is knowledge? Sharing knowledge on mannerism of change. So if we set a vision for ourselves, we would be able to share the benefits or how to implement that change is possible. So knowledge is everything. If we keep the benefits, then we can set a standard. And obviously the person who want to make any changes in our startup would also be telling us why it is necessary for our startup. So that knowledge is necessary to be transferred, but not completely, only what is necessary. The good thing about knowledge is it is very good. The bad thing about knowledge is if it's more than the required, if it's given to somebody who is not able to digest it, it would be unhealthy for him or for other organization. So we need to manage that knowledge. We have to share the required knowledge with the right person. Then it comes A of ADKAR, that is ability. Helping employees or teammates or team members or co-founders acquire in the prerequisite skills and behaviors. So if someone has to make changes in his startup and startup is saying that we have to bring our data on the Excel, on SPSS, so that skill needs to be learned, that skill needs to be emphasized and polished. If someone says you need to learn how to speak to the public, to the audience, and it is necessary, definitely you need to make change, and you need to make changes in your behavior. You have to change yourself from introverts to extroverts, because it has been seen, it has been observed. More than 95% of the startup founders are introvert in this world. So we would have to make a better change in our behavior. Then reinforcement, anchoring the change in the organization. Like if we have made awareness, we have encouraged desire, we have given knowledge, we have given ability, then the process is complete. What we have to do? We have to reinforce all the above things once again. And we have to reinforce the concept. We have to reinforce the requirement, the required results we have to get from that change management plan. So this is the model ADKAR. I'll tell that again once I complete it. So the model for today is the same. I'll tell you all the things, all the knowledge which I have for this. Then I'll repeat it. If you have any question, do write those questions. You can ask even right now, or you can ask at the end of the session. And we would also have another activity sheet for today, the Google Sheet for today, which we would be filling at the end of the session. And that would be a yes-no thing for today, not to write things. So moving on to the next thing, and that is 70% of change initiatives fail at the, and Harvard Business Review says this, and because they don't follow this model. If they don't follow this model, they fail. And as a result of failure, they get a new learning. So hopefully we would not be in these 70% of the companies, because less than 2% companies in this world, startups, gets the desired results. They change the world. So I do believe that all these startups are in those 2% companies of the world. And yes, these companies, these startups can make the difference. They can make their way in the leaders of the world. So I'm moving forward. So this is the thing which we need to see once. Though we should not address failures, but keep one thing in mind: how to do something is very important, and what to do is important. But the most important thing is what not to do. So if we know these things, why organizations failed, we would be able to avoid these things. So this would be paved our way to success, to any change. So 70% of the organizations fail because they do not properly define their objectives. That was all about vision, which I told you in the previous slides. 14% of the organization's inability to cope with technology. That was ability, which I told you in the previous slide. Lack of effective communication, and which I told you in third or fourth slide, that the communication is key. The principles I was telling you about those. And 17% others. Others are the things which are not listed in those, but these are the resistance from the people. Yes, okay, then it's poor management skills, and the 32% is poor management skills. What does it mean? The person who's managing change is unable to manage these things. So this is important. This 32%, this is a bigger number. So we need to keep these things in mind, that we have to avoid these things. We need to define objectives, we need to able to adopt technologies, we need to communicate properly and effectively. We need to keep our team members in loop, and then we need to make them understand the requirement of the change. And we need to learn how to manage people, how to manage skill of those people. Okay, hope it is understood till the slide. I'm moving forward from here. Communication is the keystone of every change management model. So this was the thing which I was telling you about, 20% communication. And communication is the keystone for every change management model in this world. So if an organization thinks that it can do something like after COVID, I've seen that Food Panda changed, brought another model. They started delivering at doorsteps here in Pakistan. So they made a change in their business model. So it was good, but it was not practicable, and their delivery guys didn't accept that change. So that was not very successful. But on the other hand, they encouraged people to start working from home, to manage their home kitchens, and that was acceptable for their delivery guys, their team members at the office. They were ready to accept that change. So it was managed easily. So within an organization, in a very large scale startups, okay, it was managed. Okay. Now, what we have to do is allow our team to ask questions, raise concerns, and join daily company conversations. Don't just send them a mass email announcement and hope that they will read your messages, because in this world, 205.6 billion emails are sent every day, yet only 1/3 of them are ever opened. 205.6 billion emails. Can you imagine that? And 1/3 of it means like 770 million, like this much emails. 70 billion emails are read every day out of 205.6 billion emails. So we need to tell people this cannot be told in this way. We cannot write it on the notice board. We cannot just send an email. We cannot drop a message for them. We need to tell people individually, we have to make this change. We have to make this change. We have to make this change. Then it would be possible. So this would be our mantra for that. We have to do it. We have to change it. We have to make any change in our organization. So hope this is understandable for you all. This is all, but I would repeat it again if there is any confusion in it. If there is any question, you guys can ask. Otherwise, I'm going to start it again and telling you in a short way. So there is nothing permanent except change. Everything is not permanent. Only change is permanent, because things keeps changing. So there is nothing permanent. If we think that these mountains are permanent, no, they keeps on changing. So change is permanent. What is change management? Change management encompasses all activities aimed at helping an organization successfully accept and adopt new technologies and new ways. So mostly this is the change which we are facing each and every day. Effective change management enables the transformation of strategy, possesses technology and people to enhance performance and ensure continuous improvement in an ever-changing environment. Like in a startup, I was working with a team as an advisor. A guy came up with a tool. He was working with California. He came up with a tool. It was a bit old. I think last year, a year before that, he came up with a tool named Trello. So he said, okay, Hassan, let's implement this tool here. I saw that, and even I was not ready to accept that. But after reading that, I found that if we adopt this tool, we would be very, very comfortable to manage our whole project. So we adopted Trello in our organization. And we made that change possible in that organization. So who are the responsible for change management? Practitioners, sponsors, people managers, project manager, and people. So the most important in all of these are sponsors, are investors. So mostly we would have to make changes as per our sponsors, as per their advices. And keep this one thing in mind. If somebody is investing with you, it means he or she has a vision that you would be successful. But for a surety, he needs to make some changes in organization so his investment can yield better results. So his investment could get that yield which you promised for them, that he would get this much bonds, this much takes, this much equity, would yield as we promised with them. Then these are the principles. We need to know our culture and adopt to support change. There it's all about our culture. If we have to accept with our investors that we will make this change, the person asking for change must be knowing about our culture. So if anything is not supported by our culture, we cannot straightly refuse it. We need to communicate it properly with our investor that in our culture, what you are saying is not possible, but this can be done in this way. So this is the main part, because at this point we do agree or disagree that we will be making the change or not. Then is it actively, intentionally led or not? Like if you want to make any change, or you are active or not, and you are actively leading that change or not, it depends upon that. Then we have to create our vision of change. Okay? Means that by adopting this change, by implementing this change, what results would I get? Just I need to secure some funds, or I have to be a success story in the world, or I would have to lead the world. So this is the vision I have to make after making the changes. If it deviates you, then we have to read point 6, that our main vision must be focused and our change vision must be aligned with our main product vision. Then we have to decide who would be our change management team partner. If we are 2% and other person is not comfortable with that change management, we can see that if some stakeholder, external or internal stakeholder, can be the partner in our change management team, we can make that our change management team partner. Then communicate carefully and strategically. So it is very, very, very important. We need, this is the most important thing in any change management technique, in any change management program. This is the most important thing. Then we have to stay aligned with our product vision and change vision, and prepare for the unexpected. So once we are ready, then there is nothing unexpected. Okay, moving forward. 62% of the employees don't like to leave their comfort zone. Then we discuss about change management model. As companies are constantly changing their policies, procedures, and business processes, it is crucial to properly manage and communicate them in the entire workplace. So here's the most practical model for the change management plan. ADCAP model: A for awareness, D for desire, K for knowledge, A for ability, R for reinforcement. And what are these? Awareness is making our team members, employees, co-founders aware of the need of the change and its benefits, as we got to know about by the investor or by our partner or by the market. As we started some business and we came to know we cannot do it in this way. We have to work with government agencies, and we didn't know before that, before starting that business. Okay, we have to follow that. We have planned a crop for our country. But after that, we came to know that we need certain approvals for that. Okay, we have to do that. Then we needed water for that. When we came to know that we need to, for making any dam, we need approvals from the government. So awareness is mandatory. So we have to make our team members aware of that. Then desire. We need to encourage desires in our partners, co-founders, employees, or whoever that person is. We have to encourage the desires, because by communication, by a good communication, we can encourage desire in those partners, in those stakeholders. So desire is second thing. Third, knowledge. Sharing knowledge on the mannerism of change. How the change would be managed. We need to share that knowledge, and what would be the results, what would be the benefits, and how that process be followed. That knowledge must be transferred to our partners, to our change management team. Then ability. We have to see that, is our team able to manage that change or not? Is a co-founder, partner, team member, stakeholder, are they able to manage that change or to digest that change? If not, we need to make them able, we need to give them a skill for that. And then after that, we have to reinforce all the above things. We need to anchor the change in the organization. Like, if we say we have to do it, people would do it. Like we say our staff that you have to, our team members, you have to submit daily activity report. They'll submit you one day, on day 1, on day 2, on day 3, on day 4, on day 5, then they'll skip Saturday, Sunday, they'll skip Monday, then you ask them, they'll start sending you from Tuesday. If you don't ask them, they'll skip on Wednesday. So we have to reinforce each week for first 3 months, then it will be acceptable for each of us. In the start, they would not be very comfortable with that. So this is a small example of it. Then 70% of changes initiative fail. And why do they fail? Because the objective is not improperly defined, and objective is not properly defined. They are unable to cope up with the technology because they are not trained, they are not given skill for that. Lack of effective communication, they are not told, they have just sent with the emails, or they are only told on the notice boards. Other, like, people are not accepting change, people are not ready. So we need to encourage desire in them. Poor management skills, like the person who's managing is not able to manage that whole process, is not managing communication, is not able to tell people. So poor management skills are things last thing. Communication is the keystone of every change management model in this world. Allow your team to ask questions, raise concerns, and join daily company conversation. Don't just send them a mass email announcement and hope that they will read your messages, because 205.6 billion emails are sent every day, yet only 1/3 of them are ever opened. So this was all about change management. Now I'm going to share a form with you guys and expecting this, we will get it filled too. This is AdCare model. We made this form. And this is very easy yes and no form. And you can fill it very easily. You can either fill it right now. I would suggest to fill it now so we can have the answers. Then I'll share the combined result of this form with you in a couple of days. Once I get it, it would take me 2 days to process these results. So I would suggest to fill these forms. Aziz, kindly, can you, are you here? Hello, Aziz.
I asked him to unmute, so hopefully he'll see it.
Mm-mm.
Not sure.
So guys, he'll be here. I would say you to start fill this form. I'll get your answers and then I'll share results with you. We have got time. I've designed my programs like this. We'll be getting the responses from you guys, so you would get easier all these concepts and you can remember these things. Okay, so start filling this form and I would share my WhatsApp once and my LinkedIn profile once again here. So you guys can connect me there too.
Hassan, I'm sorry, I was offering prayer, so that's why I
Oh,
couldn't
so
respond.
okay.
Yeah, no
Okay.
problem. All right, so are we done with the session?
We are filling a form.
Okay. Yep.
So hopefully the guys
So how
would
much time will they be needing it?
10 to 15 minutes hardly.
Okay, we can give, we have time.
Yes, that's why I plan all my sessions like this.
Yeah. Yep. I have no doubt in that.
These must be interactive, as this is the best interaction for these startups, especially.
Yep.
And here is my LinkedIn once again, if anybody need any assistance at any later stage.
Thank you for sharing that. Yeah, Eternum, go ahead.
Hello?
You have your hand raised.
Yes, I have 2 questions actually. Yes, so the first one is the ADCAR model, the R, which is for reinforcement. I want to know, you see, Hassan also mentioned that poor management skills can also cause change management to fail. So in relation to the reinforcement, how will you reinforce a change? Is there maybe like an example or a practical situation you can give us just to open our perspective to what the reinforcement involves? That's the first question. And my other question is, you mentioned the people who are supposed to foster or be involved in a change management, such as the sponsors and the people and all of that. I want to ask if customers can also be involved in a change management, because I ask because there are certain organizations, the way the model is, customers are very much involved in the business, maybe not just purchasing of products or services, but in one way or the other, they are involved. So could they also be involved in change management? Yeah, thank you.
Welcome. They were very good questions. So the first question was reinforcement. The thing is, reinforcement is required by the person who made that change management plan. And the communication is the thing which would tell you either the reinforcement is required or not. The reinforcement, if reinforcement is required and you have seen there were failures at first stage, then it means you have to change your way to communicate that plan too. So change management plan always keeps on changing as per responses of the people. As I've told you, nothing is permanent in corporate. Only permanent thing is change. So we made a plan, we started telling people, we started making changes, but we have seen that that was not very successful. We started to reinforce it and we observed those failures. We have seen where people were lacking in those things. We need to cover those things in our reinforcement plan. Is it enough for this question? Okay.
Yes. Thank
Okay.
you.
Second thing, as I have said, we need to engage our stakeholders in our change management plan. No, customers, usually internal customers would be engaged, would be part of that change. Who are internal customers? Everybody related to us is internal customer. But if we talk about end customer or consumer of our product, no, they would not be the part of that change because they will get the result of that change made in our organization. If you didn't make any change in your organization, in result, they would not be able to get a cheaper product. So they would respond to that change by not buying that product. They would. Aziz, Mike. Okay. So in that scenario, customers would be the people who would be managing that change because they would not be buying that product. So they are the people who are the end recipient of that change. If we are making a change in our system and in result, we get our product cheaper, somebody is telling us, Saab, if you make a bit change in your process, you'll get better results. And like I was working with a startup, I've seen they were managing guava crops, the fruit guava. They were planning to get 2 yields from one plant in 2 different seasons. So they were planning it, and I asked them, how would you get this? They told me they had complete studies for those, and they got very good results. But on the other hand, they didn't ask customers, did they need that in that weather or not? So once they sent their product in that off season, they got 50% of the cost they have incurred on producing that product. So this is how their customers responded to that change. So customers can be engaged by asking us or by conducting a survey or by asking a few people who are directly linked to those people who end consumers. That can be done. But end consumers are the people who are affected by your change. Either they'll make your startup a success or make it a failure? Hope I answered your question.
Yes, yes, thank you.
Play.
So let us know when you are done. Please drop a text in the chat box so that we can know who have completed. You can drop a text in the chat box when you complete it, or you can just unmute yourself and tell us if you completed.
Aziz, I started getting responses.
Okay, awesome.
Okay. So I am signing off now, hoping to
Mhm.
get the responses. Once they completed, you can proceed with next.
Sure, we can.
Okay. So, okay, guys. Bye-bye.
And I
If
would
there's
really
anything, you can ask now.
request share the
Yes.
presentation with me, so that I can share with the fellows as well.
Okay. It's sending me both the presentations.
All right. Thank you. So thank
Thank
you
you.
so very much, Hassan. You can sign off and I'll look after the other session. But it's always great learning from you. And I think today, whatever you shared, so like we at CATED, we have practiced these. And I think it's one of the reason we have sustained, we have grown, because we believe in change management and we apply change management. So thank you very much for joining on the behalf of the Resolution Project, Center for Awareness Training and Development, and on the behalf of fellows. Thank you very much, and we will see you in our next bootcamp soon.
Thank you, dear. And it is always good to see you guys. So energetic and hoping to keep it up. Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good day ahead. All right, so let's take 5 more minutes to complete this assignment. And just to reiterate and re-emphasize, please don't leave anything. So complete it, and once you are done, let me know, then we can go ahead with another session. All right, awesome. Etornum is done, Gerard is done, and let me know who else is done. Goodness, thank you. Edwin, thank you. Let's wait for other as well for a few minutes, then we will jump into another session. All right, so are we done? Those who were late, Happy Sun, Goodness, Bilad. Do we need more time or should we start our next session? Yep, you can use chat box. You can tell me if you need few more minutes, tell me. If not, we can go to our next segment. You can use chat box. Yeah, Ambrose. Okay. All right. Awesome. No problem. No problem. We can start. So thank you so very much for being here. Let's get started with our next session, which is very, very important. Remember, our approach is very, very engaging and very, very interactive. The more you interact with us, the more you use the tools we share with you. Remember, this will give you a lot benefits. This will really, you know, help us bring changes to your personality and of course to your enterprise personality as well. So let's go and jump into another very important component. Remember, we talked about, let me let me explain few things about this session. So we talked about change management, emotional intelligence, and a lot other things, right? What really important is here that how we go about it, how we plan a change, how we can grow. This is really important, right? So we want you to have those tools that even after this training, you can reassess yourself. You can do your own assessment or your enterprise. And then you can see how you have been growing with the passage of time. For example, Hassan has shared multiple tools. I will be sharing a very important tool, which is called individual development plan. As a leader, as a startup, as a CEO, you really need to track yourself on daily basis. You really need to understand how you are progressing on daily basis. You really need to understand how you have been impacting your enterprise on daily basis, on weekly basis, on monthly basis. And then of course, how your growth, your transformation, your organizational transformation has an impact on the community you are serving or the people with whom you are working. So I'll be giving that tool where we will try help identify topmost 2 or 3 leadership challenges or leadership gaps you have, and you want that you work for the next 3 or 6 months on those gaps, and how those working on those gaps can transform you. So there is a step-by-step process to it, and I'll be giving you the tool to that. But before that, we need to understand a lot of perspective about ourselves, a lot of aspects of ourselves. And then we need to think as a leader, as an individual, as an impact creator, where do I want to see in the next few years, in the next 10 or 20 or 30 years? Or maybe what is my goal, my destination? What is my current state? And then where do I want to reach? So if you know your current state and you understand or you identify your future state, so then you will be knowing the gap in between. And then you can strategize yourself and you can become a better leader, knowing things on which you need to improve, and then working on it. Improving it means you are becoming from good to better, from better to great, and from great to greatest. That's the journey. The journey always starts from, bad, good, better, best, greatest. So you go step by step. So I'll help you go step by step and reach to the letter of, to the top of greatest or greatest, I would say, right? So I have shared the link. I want all of you to come to this link. And since we are here, I won't tell you, um, you know, uh, take time and do it later. I want you to take out this time I'll give you 15 minutes to fill this form and download it and then fill it, so that you write things on it and you help understand different aspect of yourself. And just to explain it a little bit, the first section is about building conscious relationships. We already discussed about in the networking how important it is. So there are a few questions. What would make this transformational journey for you? What are those things that after this lab, after this boot camp, what are some of the things that can make this transformation journey happen for you? So write down things. What are those things? What will support you build trust in relationship, right? I would say our here refers to people you are working with. People you are working with. So this transformational journey, this means this boot camp, right? So I'll clarify these things so it's clear for you. And the third question here is, what is the one thing you would like for me or for us to know and be mindful around culture? So Hassan already discussed about it. So what is that thing that you want to tell people that they should be conscious of when talking to you, or when having conversation and dealings with you? How will you let me know or let us know, since it's a one-on-one coaching tool, but I would like you to go with it. How you will let us know if you would like us to do something so that it boosts your this learning journey. I would say learning journey rather than coaching journey. So you are here with us for 4 days. You had great learning. How it can boost you? You can write it down here. Then personal discovery. What is the most significant contribution you have made personally or professionally? What is special about it? What is that great, amazing thing you have done? And what is special about it? What is the biggest contribution you are yet to make? What is that contribution that you have imagined or you are thinking of, and you want to contribute to the community, to the society, to the family, or any other reason? Then on a scale of 10, on a scale of 1 to 10, being 10 being the maximum, how satisfied do you feel in each area of your right now? Means now, at the current state, how you feel about these areas. For example, how satisfied you are. You can give mark to the community, like you're well connected to the community. For example, I would say I give 8 number to it. Recreation, I would give, let's suppose, 6 to it. So think over it, brainstorm over it, and try be realistic, in understanding your current state. And then the second question here is, the first is right now. The second is, how would you like the score in each area to be after 3 months? Let's suppose after 3 months from this workshop, how you would like to improve your score in these. For example, in community, I have 8 and I want to get 10. So how, after 3 months, how much, you want to improve this? Then, which is the one area, if you worked on, will have maximum impact on your overall well-being? So there are a lot of challenges we face, but what is that one bigger challenge that can solve 5, 6 problems within it? Identify it and write it here. Then what areas of your life would you like to have more courage? So sometime I might, for example, few of us say that I am a shy person, or I am not a great networker because I have low confidence. I don't feel confident connected with people. So I would say, what are those areas? I can identify one areas in networking where I need to have more courage. What are some other areas you want to have more courage in your life? Then let me change this as well. Let's make this boot camp. What do you want to achieve from the resolution fellow or venture, or maybe this boot camp, right? I would say boot camp. So what do you want to achieve from this boot camp? For example, you already had a great learning. Now, what do you want to achieve from what you have learned, right? Where do you see how this learning can help you in where you want to reach? So write it down. If you got that, what would you have? For example, if I say, let's suppose I will have a very planned and a very sustainable and structured venture, who is self-sustainable or who has a good reputation in the market. Now that is what I want to achieve from the resolution fellowship. Now the next question, Nate, if you get that, let's suppose you get that sustainable venture, what would you have? How that would impact on your life, your professional and personal life, what you would be having. For example, you would say, I would have a great networking with people across the globe. I would be financially stable. I would be creating employment opportunities. So again, this is envisioning and widening your mind. This entire exercise is to broaden your mind as a leader, to give you different perspective. Hey, don't just think of your venture. Don't just think of yourself. Think bigger. Think, bigger, so that you can create a bigger impact. So I would really like all of you to please, you will have access to these documents. I'll share all the folders with you, by the end of the session, but you can download this, and I would give you 15 minutes, and in 15 minutes, you can fill it. Try fill it completely, and then you can exercise on it again and refill it, because I want you to have practice on it so that you can understand it. If you have any question, I can address that. And within after 15 minutes, then we will jump into individual development plan, and then you will further understand why I give you this assignment. So do you think 15 minutes is fine? Let's be conscious about the time. We have just we need to be conscious on the time as well. So if take 15 minutes, if you need more time, then I'll give you more time. But I really want all of you to, go with it and practice it. Yes, you can make a copy here as well, but rather than making a copy, I would say download it, write it, save it with yourself, and then, later you can access this as well. So let's take 15 minutes, and then we will, if you need more time, I'll give you more time after 15 minutes. And in between, you guys have any question, just unmute yourself, ask me, I'll address it. Do you have any question? If no, you can use the chat. Just respond with me yes or no, so that I understand that you are with me. Do you have any question? If anything is unclear, please let me know. Is everything clear? Okay, awesome. Okay, great, excellent. So let's be on the sheet, right? Let's complete it. I'm here. If there's any issue, you can ask me. While filling it, if you face any issue, any problem, once again, you can ask me. Batul, hi.
Hello.
I think, yeah, you just joined. So I'm going to share a form with you. You can go through this form. It's in evaluation form. Uh, we will be discussing individual development plan, how you can develop your leadership skills. But for that, it is very, very important. At first, we need to understand different aspects of ourselves. So all the instructions are there. I know you're late, but I want you to open this link. Beyond the link, already the online form is being filled by somebody, but you can download it and then you can address the question as they are asked. So this is the first step, and then we will be moving to the individual development plan. Did you open the form?
I'm opening it.
Okay, awesome, awesome. And for others, let me know how much time do you need? 5 minutes, 10 minutes?
So we are all answering on the same sheet.
But okay, at first you said that we can do it individually, but I'm also seeing that most people are doing on the same. So I think we can have collective feedback there. But if you feel like you want to do it individually, you can download the copy and do it. But meanwhile, I'm also seeing that most people were really doing it as a team.
Okay, got it. Thank you very much.
Will give you a better response.
Yes, what you said was what you got.
Yeah, Batul, can you repeat if I can help?
So I was just asking if we need to, I need to do it individually or collectively, but Gracie
Yeah,
told me that we can,
it's an
but they already.
individual. Yeah,
Oh,
it's an individual activity. You can download it. So you will already have access to all these documents, right? What we have done, what we'll be doing. But I just want you to go through it. And remember, this is not a one-time activity. You will be doing this even after this bootcamp as well. You need to do it on repeated basis so that you improve yourself, you understand yourself better. But this is just for the practice so that you get used to it.
okay.
Yeah. So let's take 5 more minutes, and I hope most of you would have done this. You should try to be as precise as you can, just to be conscious on time. And once you go back to home, you will have a lot of time. You can manage and give time to it to complete it, or to do it again. Let me know those who are done. You can just say yes in the chat box. Those who are done, you can write yes in the chat box. Do we need more time or we are done? Because the other thing, individual development plan, that would also need time. That's also a very step-by-step process where we need to, write different steps, think where we want improvement. So I want to give time to that as well. So if you are done, just drop a text in the chat box. If not, you need few more minutes. So tell me, how much time do you need? Yep, Goodness, Happy Sun, Gracie, Eternum, Edwin, Batul, Vilad, Ambrose. Okay, Batul, thank you. Eternum, I'm done. Awesome. Ambrose, what about you? Vilad? All right, awesome. So let's go and jump to the next part. I would like you all to take a pause, those who have not completed. Just save it and then you can restart it later on just to complete it, right? But I want you to take you to the individual development plan, because that is extremely important. What we have been learning so far in the past few days, this will help you further, get a tool that can improve you further. And again, this is individual development plan. If you have co-founders, if you have other team members in your team or in your venture, so you as a leader, as a CEO, as a co-founder, as a founder, so you can practice these activities with them as well, so that they can understand themselves well, they can enhance their leadership skills, and this way they improve themselves, and their improvement means there would be improvement in your organization that would impact your venture and your organization. So that is why it is extremely a powerful tool. So I will be explaining it first, then I'll be giving you time to reflect on it, write things, right? That would be just the initial steps. And after the boot camp, you still need to sit down and work on it properly and spend more time on it. But I'll first explain and then we will go to filling this. Can you guys see my screen? Anybody? You can use chat box or you can tell me. Okay, what about others? Okay, awesome, awesome, great. All right, so now, very important. So I want all of you to stay in, very focused on each segment of this, model and this development plan. First, whenever you are developing or you're asking your team members to develop, just write your name and then strengths. Write all of your strengths. Even if you are good at better at something, write it down. There could be 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, whatever strengths you have. Write each and every strength in this row. So this is a presentation. You can edit it later on, right? Write down your strengths. I repeat again, write every strength of you, but you need to think on your strengths. Sometimes you think that these are 4, 5, 6 are your strengths. We want you to go deeper. We want you to be critical. Be a critical thinker and analyze your leadership and try understand what are the key strengths you have. You can go back and see on academics level, on volunteers level, on venture level, whatever you have practiced that has helped people, that has helped your venture grow, that has impact on people or your venture, write it down. Those are your strengths. Now, second, once you write it, now here the game starts. So here in the development region, right? So let me see. Let me see if I can edit. All right. So now in the development, section on the left side, we recommend to write 2, but you can write more than 2 development areas. By development areas, we means weak spot, area of improvement, right? For example, I as a leader, if my speaking skills or my communication skills are weak, I'm not that well expressive or not effective with my communication, and that is impacting my leadership and my business, that means this is my development area. So I'll write it here that weak, not effective communication skills. Second could be, let's suppose I am a kind of introvert. I am a leader, or we can say I'm an entrepreneur, a CEO of a venture, but I am an introvert. I cannot interact with people. I cannot go and say hi, hello, and introduce myself with people. This could be your another development area. And there could be many, many more. And you can think on it. What are your development areas? Write down 2 or 3 here. First step. Second step. Now, again, this is entirely thought. This is entirely making your thoughts structure. This is entirely planning. Now, once you identify your development areas, the second step is aspired state. What does that mean? If I were fully developed in this area, it means the development areas. If I were fully developed in those areas, how well people experience me? Second, what will they see me doing? If I become a great effective communicator, how people will experience me, how people will see me doing. For example, I would say people will experience me very interactive, very productive, very engaging, who bring business or who brings impact to the community, who impacts lives of others. Second, what they will see me doing? They will see me doing great business. They will see me leading my business in an effective way, creating local employment opportunities, etc., etc. It could be anything. I'm just giving you the example. So that is the aspired state. When you reach to the aspired state, so just imagine if you reach to the aspired state, how people will experience you. Again, this is planning. This is scenario planning. This is future planning. where you want to achieve. You try identify your gaps, you try see where how you want to improve, where you want to take it, and then once you know these two, you can know the gap in between and you can work accordingly. Now the second thing, the third important perspective is impact. Extremely important. How your development, improving your development areas is creating an impact. Now what does that mean? What results can I bring about in my work or life as a result of this development? If I develop myself in these areas, how it will bring change in my life, how it will create an impact on my personal professional career. So you need to see, for example, becoming an effective communicator, how it can impact me personally. I would be a great communicator. I would have a good relationship. I would have a great network. Second, on my organization, being an effective communicator, I can bring more business, more deals, more donations, more grants. I would be best in pitch. So that would win me a lot more grants. So by bringing that, it means my organization has more fun and more activities. That means I can do more, activities in the field, which means impacting more people, generating more employments, changing lives of other people. So you need to think how developing these areas can impact your professional and your personal life. So this is the first step, which is brainstorming, which is planning, which is organizing. And then we move to the next step, that when you identify these development areas, now how you can work on those development areas and what are the steps including in that. Well, that is in the next slide, but for now in this slide, first, what are your thoughts? How do you feel about it? Second, any question here? I want to hear from every one of you. If not everyone, I want to hear most of you. How do you feel about this? What do you feel about this? And do you have any question in this? You can unmute yourself and you can talk to me. Yeah, anyone who would like to go ahead?
Allow me to.
Yep, yeah, Vilad.
So my general feeling about this part of discussion is that there are moments when we need to do what in the business term we'd call a SWOT analysis, where we're looking at our strengths, our weaknesses, the opportunities that are there, and all that we need to we need to improve in order to leverage our effect and impact. Yeah. And so for me, looking at the fact that sometimes there are those shadows that we cannot tell about ourselves, particularly in terms of areas that we need to improve, I think that will become so significant by looking at those areas that could be sabotaging how much of impact are we having, and also just being able to distinguish between the desired state, like where do I want to be, particularly in regard to these areas that I need to improve, and also how much impact will it have not only to we ourselves as social business ventures, but much more important to those people who are beneficiaries of what we are doing. So like, for instance, I look at myself, one of the major things that has been acting as a hampering factor for me is I'm not so good in networking. Yeah, I've been struggling with that, and sometimes I create networks, but I drop them in the process. And I'm imagining had I created such a robust network, then probably I would get so many people, perhaps even just recommending me for opportunities, or even just referring me for other chances that could be out there. And so the impact that this would have, because we are in the field of health and cancer particularly, then this would mean that more patients will be reached with the resources that we might mobilize through these networks. So I'm finding this very helpful. And it's a moment maybe where we can look at ourselves intrinsically and also do an introspective search into what we think this would mean to us going forward, not only now, but even for the future. Thank you so much.
Yeah, absolutely. And that is the reason we are giving these powerful tools. Remember, I have worked with hundreds of startups and their CEOs and their founders. This is where they are lacking. They don't invest in themselves and they fail ultimately. So the more you invest in yourself, the more this will impact you as a leader, and it will impact your venture as well, right? So thank you so very much for sharing your thoughts. Yeah, anyone else who'd like to share your thoughts, your observations, your feelings?
Aziz, I'm sorry to interrupt, but
Mhm.
because I have to go, I'm sorry today. I had other commitments, and now there's a session. So I wanted, like, because I won't be on the closing, to wrap me up, or like, would there be any future things like related to this bootcamp, or like just that's it and I can watch the recording?
Yeah, absolutely. So for future, I think this tool and all other tools, they are the future. You need to do it on yourself on daily basis, on a weekly basis, maybe monthly basis, and more about, for the future boot camps, like we will have on sustainability in December. So Michelle will be reaching out to you. But for now, I will be sharing and emailing you the link to the folder and all these presentations, right? So you can read it again and again, practice on these things, and this will improve it. Remember, since you're leaving, you need to give time to it. You need to do it. You need to practice on these tools. You need to implement it. Otherwise, it would not benefit you if you're not, giving time to it or implementing it. So, yeah.
Okay, dear. Thank you very, very much. It has been a
Of
pleasure
course.
and nice to meet everyone.
Thank you. Same here. Thank you very much. All right.
Thank
Any other thoughts? Any other observation? Anyone else? How do you feel? Do you think this is important? Anyone who'd like to share? Yep. Anyone? I want to hear one more thought. Edwin. Happy son. All right, no problem if you don't want to share with me. Awesome. So that's the first step, where you identify things.
Excuse me, I
You
think
understand. Yeah,
I
yeah, go
think someone
ahead.
has posted in the chat, so maybe if you want.
Okay, this is very, yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, Eternum, thank you. This is very important because I believe it's needed in our development as a young leader. Of course, very rightly said. Thank you. Thank you for mentioning that. So let's move to the next step. Very important, right? Once you do this entire thinking, you structure the thought process, you see its impact, you identify your aspired state. Now, the next step is how you will improve these development areas. And for this, we have this model, we have this framework, we have this approach. And it is again step-by-step process. Number one, so in this sheet, first you will write on the left side, in the development areas, you will write again those development areas that you have identified in the previous slide. So you will write it here. Then for each development area in front of it, there need a shift. Now, how you can take a shift? There are two steps involved in it. Number one, I am letting go of. So to bring change in yourself, you need to leave some few things. You need to quit few things. So what are those things that you will be letting go of? You will not be doing, you will not be practicing, you will not be doing. So what are those things? Identify those things. Then the second step is I am stepping into. For any change to happen, first you need to let go things, but at the same time you need to adopt to few other things. You need to practice few new things so that you bring that change, you take that shift. So what are those things that you need to follow? For example, if here I already have, this is just an example. For example, if I want to influence beyond current cycle up, let's suppose, let me give you a very simple example. Let's suppose I want to be an effective communicator. Now, the second thing, the shift I am letting go, number one, go off number one. I will be not afraid of interacting with people. Second, I will not shy responding to people, right? Third, I will let go, um, you know, not giving time to, let's suppose, completing communication courses, right? So these are the three steps. Now I am stepping into number one. I will do communication coaching. Number two, I will step into, let's suppose I would say, enrolled in a course. Number three, I will step into attending social gatherings so that I can interact with people and improve my communication communication skills, and a lot more. So you need to identify what you are stepping into. Then once you do these steps, the third step is way forward. Now, how you will be stepping into and how you will be letting things go. For this, you need to define your actions and practices. For example, for stepping into, I would say, I will enroll myself in a communication course next week. Yeah, or I will complete 3 courses of communication in the coming 2-3 months. Practices, I will, interact with people in the social networking, and I will attend 1 event per week. Third, I will be dropping few texts or emails on weekly basis so that my virtual communication also get better. So you need to identify actions and practices so that you follow those actions and practices and you improve your development areas. So write all the actions and practices for each development areas and then follow those actions and practices. Now, once you do this, you identify the steps, then the third step, the last step is, in the next month or in the next few months, observable specific shift in my being, doing, plus specific result I will work towards generated. For example, what change I will see in the next month or few months. For example, I say I would have, I would have connected with, I would have a good relationship or good connection with 3 CEOs. I would have, pitched for grants or for donations, right? I would have, better, business dealings with my clients. So these are some of the observable specific shifts you think you will see after a month, after 2 or 3 months. Now, if you see this is a step-by-step process, a very hierarchical and very realistic and very doable steps. And this red highlighted is just as an example. You can write your own development areas here. So this is a step-by-step process where you can do what? You can improve yourself and you can identify your development areas and you can work on it. Now, any question in this slide? Tell me if you have not understood any part of it. Before we move into the activity, Please tell me where you didn't understand, and you can also tell me how do you feel about it. Do you think it's doable, it's achievable, it's time bound, like you can give time to it, you can practice on it, this can help you or your team members? So I want to hear your thoughts. Yes, who can go first?
Hi, it's Grace.
Hi. Yeah, Gracie, go ahead.
Yeah, so I personally, on my personal, I think it's a doable tool and it's beneficial for the person and the team. And in this way, it can really help, I should say, to measure your effectiveness and also to have some sort of self-reflection. So in this way, it can improve on your productivity and efficiency. So I really believe it's a good tool.
Okay, awesome, great. Thank you for sharing that. Yes, anyone else? Goodness, Vlad, Edwin.
Someone posted in the chat, I think she posted.
Yeah, Atornum, thank you. It's achievable. Thanks for this. Going to help my identity specific step. Okay. All right. Thank you for sharing that. Anyone have Habisan, Vlad, others? So I really enjoy. Yeah, I really enjoy when you talk to me, right? So so try talk to me, share what is going on in your mind. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, Bangladesh. Let me go. Can
Yeah,
you
go
hear
ahead.
me?
Yeah, I can. I
Okay,
can.
yes, it's actually very achievable to do this. All it takes is mostly planning, especially when you're running a venture or a project or as such. There are a lot of things that would take up your time. And if you are not careful, you might not even allocate the right time to doing things that would help you scale up your business or something. So once we're able to plan, in as much as we dedicate time to improving sales and improving this and that, we should also allocate time to improving ourselves, improving our network. So it's actually very, very achievable. It's just a matter of mindset and the dedication of time. So that's my take on this.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And that's so true. I just shared the link to this document. I want all of you to download it and then we will go and start working on it. But I want to hear a few others as well. Any thoughts, any observation? Do you think it's helpful? You can either say it in chat. Ambrose, I haven't heard you today. So let me know if you can share your thoughts. Edwin, we haven't heard you today. So Vilad, Goodness, do you want to share your thoughts?
Aziz, I have something.
Yeah, please.
I don't know if it's on my side, but I saw the document is on view only. I don't know
Sorry,
if another person has checked. Like the link you've just shared about the tool, it's on view only.
Okay, let me do that. Thank you for mentioning that. So don't edit this one, just download it and you would be able to edit it, right? I changed the settings, but download it. And once you download it, you can download it from here, from the file section, and then you can make changes. I'll guide you on this, right? How you can fill it. So don't start it yet until I give you time for the activity. Yes, anyone else who would like to share your thoughts? All right, awesome, no problem. So here we go. I shared the link. Let me know in the chat, did you guys download it? Just respond with yes or no. Did you download this document? Goodness, thank you. What about others? Happy son. Okay, awesome, great. Okay, great, awesome, great. So I'll give you time for around 15 minutes. And I know it's pretty less time, but since we don't have much time, I want all of you to identify only one development area and then complete all these steps. Try write only two bullets or two points, you know, in each segment, so that we do it in the time. Then later on you can work extensively on it. So please download it and then work on only one identified area. For example, I would say leadership skills. What should be its inspired state? So just one or two bullets. Impact, just one or two bullets. Then here development areas, I'm letting go just one or two things. I'm stepping into one or two things. Way forward, just two actions. And here just one or two bullets. So I think it is doable in 15 minutes. So download it. I'm repeating it again. I'll give you 15 minutes. Take 15 minutes, work on it, identify your one development areas for now. You can work on it extensively later on, and then I will give you some more guidelines. So let's take 15 minutes. In between, you have any question, please let me know. But don't edit this online document. If you don't know the process, please come to the file. See here, it's the download. So just download the PowerPoint presentation. You would be able to fill it in on the desktop. If you have any question, meanwhile, you can ask me. So you will have 15 minutes and let's get it done in 15 minutes.
All right, so are we done? Have you completed it? You can use the chat box.
Let me know if you're done. You can use your chat box. Okay, Turnham, thank you so very much. What about others? Are we done? Okay, awesome. Gracie, thank you. All right, so if you have not done, I would really like all of you to stop it here. Later on, you can work on it and you really need to give time to it as well. But I just want to debrief you and share some more information regarding this. So remember, I would really like all of you, if you can give time to this sheet on weekly basis, great. If not, please at least give 2 to 3 hours on monthly basis and try evaluate yourself on monthly basis. And then within 6 months, you will see a lot changes in you, in your leadership, in your enterprise, and of course, in your approach as well. So this individual development plan is a tool that can help you identify your gaps, identify action items, and plan or see how it can create an impact on yourself and on your venture, and how it can make you a great leader. So this is a powerful tool that we would like you to use it. And this brings us to the end of the boot camp. But before I go and share things, I wanna share the entire content of the boot camp so that you have access to all these things. I am sharing this link with all of you. Please bookmark this. Here, all the activities we have done, you will access it in the activities section. Now, this is very important. I would like to share. We haven't shared it with you. Now, this is a boot camp module. So whatever we have studied, right? So we have developed a module for you to read it, give time to it, and every topic that we have covered, we have some more details to each of the topic. It's around 34 pages document, and it covers all the topics of the boot camp. So it covers all the topics of the boot camps, and pretty comprehensive and pretty much more insightful if you go and study this document. So this is a module, and this module is here in this folder. And then we have these presentation, the change management, professional networking, discovery question, emotional intelligence, personality, individual development plan. So you will have all the presentation in this section. So remember, this is something that you need to read again and again if you want to improve more and enhance your leadership skills. And you need to practice on these skills so that you make transformation happen for yourself. So I shared this link with you. You can save this link and you can have access to everything that we studied. So thank you so very much. And this brings us to the end of the boot camp and the topics we wanted to cover on a boot camp. We'll have few more minutes for next 15 minutes. I just just want to hear, how did you feel about this boot camp? Anything interesting, anything that you learned and you think this can really transform? And how do you plan to implement all these tools, knowledge, skills, and concept that we taught you? So I'll be calling the name, and since I'm wanna take the feedback, I want every one of you to unmute yourself and speak, right? The first one to go is Etornam. Go ahead. Yeah, Etornam, if
Yes.
you can. Yeah.
Yes. So I was actually typing in the chat box, but since you mentioned my name, I'll just go ahead. And first of all, I thank you so much and your team and everyone who came to present at this boot camp. This boot camp is rather transforming for me because it's been just a few days, but even the little things that I've started applying to my life, I think they are helping me so much. You know, the thoughts issue, you know, think whether it's relevant to your goals or not, then you switch. Yeah, it's very helpful. The networking, Johari window, everything that we learned, it has been transformational. And like you said, you have shared everything with us. So mine is to go back and then take a more critical look at it and see how I can apply it, and then also from time to time come back to see how I am improving. So I thank you so much and your entire team for this leadership package. Thanks a lot.
Of course, thank you so very much for sharing that and for sharing your feedback. Ambrose, how do you feel about this boot camp? Would you like to share your thoughts? Ambrose, we can't hear you. We hardly hear you.
Hope you can now hear me, right?
Yeah, I can hear now.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much. I think this is my second time.
I think we lost him. So let him join again, and let's go with Goodness. Anything you'd like to share?
Oh, yes. It's been an amazing journey so far. These 4 days have been, well, really self-reflective for me especially. I've been able to like get, we as leaders, we have these ideas of what being a leader is, but it is necessary to get reminded on what to do and what to access each time. So this served as not as a reminder to all of us to keep working on ourselves and keep improving on ourselves and like just keep being better at what we do, so as to not remain at the same place where we were. So the entire boot camp has been that for me. I've really seen some things I can work on myself, and hopefully the next couple of weeks and months, and I hope to see a positive reflection of the entire session I've been able to attend here. So the facilitators have been amazing. The fellows have been amazing. Everybody who participated, I listened a lot, so I got to learn from each person and hear from each person. So it's been really amazing, and kudos to everybody.
Awesome, great. So thank you so very much. Yeah, Ambrose, go ahead. You can start. I know you have connectivity issue, so you can complete.
Hey, thank you so much. I think I had some connectivity issue, but I was saying when I saw the email from Resolution, I couldn't resist to register for this bootcamp because the last one I attended, which was also facilitated by the CAD, also by Aziz, was really nice and it was really impactful. The same as this one, the sharing from other fellows and also from you facilitators was really great, and I'm hopeful that I'm going to use this one in my venture and also in my leadership skill. I really appreciate Resolution Fellow resolution project for organizing this kind of bootcamp over and over again for the betterment of our venture and also the betterment of our community. Thank you so much on my team, on my behalf of my team and I really appreciate Resolution Fellow for always thinking about us and also not leaving us. I know as they promised earlier, it's not all about money, but also about what other things. And I know as time goes by, I'm going to continue learning again. Thank you so much.
Yeah, absolutely, Ambrose. Thank you so very much. And we will have many more such programs, right? Just because we want you to grow, right? This is all for you and for your growth. Yeah, Gracie, anything on your side you want to share?
Not really. Everything has been said. Maybe just to join with them. I really enjoyed this training, as I said at the beginning, and it has been essential, and I've really benefited out of it.
All right, awesome. Thank you. Happy Son. Yeah, Happy Son, if you can unmute, we would like to hear you.
Thank you very much. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can.
No, thank you. Thank you for the sessions. Though I joined late, but it was very helpful. And also I can relate and also see some of the mistakes that we do or I do. They are, they can be solved by, the tools that you were presenting, to us. And thank you very much. I think we are going to implement and also implement, the tools just very soon, and we are going to realize, the desired results. Yeah.
Okay, awesome, great. Thank you so very much. Yeah, go ahead.
Sure. Yeah, sure. And also expand, the business. Sorry for the background noise. I'm at work.
Yeah, no problem, no problem. We're happy that you are with us. So thank you very much for your feedback. Vilad, anything on your side? You're the last one to go.
I think for me, I just want to register my profound gratitude for this wonderful session that we've had for the last 3-4 days. Today marking the 4th and the end, but still a continuation from our end to keep on bettering what we might think could be our best at the moment. One thing that stands out for me from all these trainings are the practical aspects of it. It's not just theory being churned, but also the application part of it came really live. I greatly appreciated the training on personality development. I also appreciated the change management aspect of it and building the networking aspect. And today, the individual development plan. I think this will come in handy, especially when now we begin to set foot into seeing there are social ventures that are taking a different trajectory that will see them growing into perhaps bigger investments that will be able to help the problems, to solve the problems that our communities could be facing. So to you and the entire team, I really want to say thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you for willing to share with us the knowledge and the skills and all the professional prowess. Thank you, Sana.
Absolutely, Walid. Absolutely, we're all here for you and for all of the fellows. So I'm really happy to hear the feedback. Thank you very much for joining. Michelle, are you with us?
Yes, and I'm going to start my video because now it's the normal time here.
Yeah. So Michelle, anything? I'll just conclude and then you can conclude the entire boot camp. But for me it was really a great experience, and just to tell you, it could have been more engaging if we could have if you could have we really wanted all of you to speak, because the more you speak the more we engage, right? So this is how we built our trainings. Our entire trainings are highly engaged, focused on the needs of the learner. And so with this I would say say I really enjoyed all the session. Last bootcamp was very engaging. This bootcamp is very engaging. And I can see the passion, the commitment, the determination that whatever you guys have in hand now, the skills, the knowledge, the tools, and I see that you will apply these, and I see that there will be a change. And we would really want to hear from you after a month or 2 or 3, that you drop us in email, or maybe WhatsApp us, or maybe LinkedIn, message us on LinkedIn and see that, hey, I applied this individual development, plan, and it really worked for me. I applied this change management process and it really worked for me. It really changed things for me, and a lot more. So thank you so very much. And I really want to thank Michelle for making this entire things happen, for communicating with different things, different aspects of the bootcamp. So thank you so very much, Michelle, and all the resolution team. And I want to thank Danish as well for facilitating it for 3 days, and all the trainers who joined. So thank you once again, and please stay in touch on LinkedIn. Anything you need after the workshop, don't hesitate to drop a message. We're here for you. Michelle, over to you. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Aziz, and thank you all for joining us and being so interactive. Like Aziz said, it's really important, and it really helps move these boot camps along and let you all learn from each other. Aziz mentioned it, but we will be doing another round in December that will build off the previous 2. So be on the lookout for information about that as well. If you have any questions or want to connect, do not hesitate to reach out either on WhatsApp or an email. I answer both. And we'll be sharing the recordings again soon, so be on the lookout for those as well. And a big thank you to Aziz and Danish. This is what all our fellows have asked for, what they're looking for with their own education and professional development. So thank you so much for making these happen and building these out. They are really thoughtful, and I know I enjoyed them. I know our fellows enjoyed them. So thank you so much again. And I look forward to seeing you all soon at another webinar or something else.
Yeah, we will. So thank you, everyone. Have a wonderful time. And please remember me and my family in your prayers. Thank you.